Hey everyone, Zaid here. And in today's true crime story, we're diving deep into the perplexing disappearance of Dwayne Demkiw. Imagine this, a part-time limo driver from Edmonton, known for his reliability and kind nature, vanishes into thin air on May 31st, 2015. His absence sends ripples of concern through his community. But it's the eerie silence that follows that truly chills the spine. Fast forward to a car ablaze in a Calgary parkade, a scene straight out of a crime thriller, but this is no fiction. It's the grim reality of Dwayne's car, found torched, an ominous sign in the search for him. The case grows cold, almost frozen, until nearly a year later, a discovery in a wooded area near Innisfail reignites the investigation. Dwayne's remains are found scattered, a gruesome testament to the dark fate he met. Now, enter the suspect, a man of many aliases, Jason Steadman, also known as Robert Aubrey Maxwell. His past is a tapestry woven with threads of jealousy and deceit. Once romantically linked to Dwayne's ex-partner, Steadman's envy was a dangerous catalyst, ultimately putting him on a collision course with the law. But this story isn't straightforward. It's a complex web that spans across borders, involving stolen identities, a murder, and a manhunt that would leave even seasoned detectives baffled. It's a tale that questions identity, motive, and the lengths one will go to hide in plain sight. So, buckle up as we unravel this intricate case. Piece by chilling piece. Stay tuned as we explore the life of Dwayne Demkiw, the enigmatic Jason Steadman, and the international chase that unfolded. This is a story of a disappearance that became so much more, a narrative of murder, mystery, and a manhunt that crossed international lines. Don't go anywhere. This is a true crime story you won't want to miss. Alright, friends, let's get into the nitty-gritty of this harrowing tale. Dwayne Demkiw, at 42 years old, was last seen working his shift as a limo driver in Edmonton. His sudden disappearance sparked a search that would lead to a haunting discovery. His vehicle, found torched in a Calgary parkade, became the first eerie clue in what would become a cross-province investigation. The flames that consumed his car were a stark contrast to the cold trail he left behind. But the case, which had grown cold, was reignited nearly a year later. In a wooded area near Innisfail, a grim discovery was made. Dwayne's remains were found, not all together, but scattered, a macabre breadcrumb trail that spoke of violence and dark deeds. This wasn't just a case of a missing person. It was a brutal ending to a life that had more chapters to live. The scattered remains told a story of a crime so heinous, it shocked the community and reawakened the urgency to find the perpetrator. This discovery wasn't just a turning point in the investigation. It was a moment that brought the case back into the glaring lights of public attention. And as we dive deeper into this story, we'll be piecing together the puzzle of Dwayne Demkiw's last days, the motives behind this brutal act, and the manhunt that ensued. Stay with me as we seek to understand the darkness that led to this gruesome end. Enter Jason Steadman, also known as Robert Aubrey Maxwell, a man whose true identity began to unravel as the investigation deepened. Steadman, once romantically linked to Dwayne's ex-partner, was driven by a dangerous envy that led him down a path of deceit and ultimately murder. His connection to Dwayne wasn't just through a shared acquaintance, it was a twisted web of jealousy and control. Steadman's criminal actions didn't stop at the murder of Dwayne Demkiw. He was also a suspect in the disappearance of the real Robert Aubrey Maxwell, who went missing from the streets of Vancouver. It's a chilling thought that Steadman used a piece of Maxwell's identity to cloak his own, weaving a narrative that kept detectives guessing and led to an international manhunt. The case against Steadman was solidified when he was found guilty in February 2019. Almost 4 years after the crime was committed. The brutality of the murder was stark. Dwayne's body parts were found buried in a different town, indicating the lengths to which Steadman would go to cover his tracks. Currently serving a life sentence, the story of Jason Steadman is a harrowing reminder of the masks people wear and the dark secrets they can hide. The case of Dwayne Demkiw's disappearance and murder turned into a complex puzzle that spanned across borders. As the investigation unfolded, it became clear that this was no ordinary case. An international manhunt was launched to track down Jason Steadman, a man whose life was a tapestry of lies and deceit. Steadman's attempt to evade justice saw him crossing into the United States, where he continued his criminal activity. But the law was closing in. His past actions in Canada had left a trail that investigators were meticulously piecing together. It was a race against time and a test of international cooperation. The breakthrough came when Steadman was apprehended in the United States. At the time of his arrest, he was already behind bars, serving time for unrelated charges. It was a twist of fate that brought an end to the manhunt, but the beginning of a new chapter in the pursuit of justice for Dwayne Demkiw. The arrest of Steadman was a testament to the relentless efforts of law enforcement agencies from multiple countries working in concert. It highlighted the lengths to which they would go to bring a suspect to justice, regardless of where their flight from the law took them. This section of the story underscores the global reach of modern investigative techniques and the importance of international law enforcement collaboration. In a courtroom filled with tension and sorrow, the fate of Jason Steadman was sealed. Found guilty of first-degree murder in February 2019, Steadman was sentenced to life for the brutal killing of Dwayne Demkiw. The trial, which began on January 14, 2019, presented a staggering 92 witnesses and numerous pieces of evidence that painted a harrowing picture of Demkiw's last day. The prosecution's narrative was clear. Steadman, armed with a machete, lay in wait for hours in a parking lot dumpster, a premeditated ambush that ended in tragedy. As the details of Demkiw's final moments were recounted, the courtroom was left grappling with the sheer gravity of the crime. Steadman's conviction brought a somber closure to a case that had haunted the community for nearly 4 years, leaving an indelible mark on the hearts of all those affected. In the aftermath of Dwayne Demkiw's brutal murder, the community was left grappling with the reality of such a heinous act in their midst. The trial, which recounted the final day of Demkiw's life, brought to light the normalcy of his last hours spent planning a trip to Disney World, attending a birthday dinner, before his life was tragically cut short. As the details of his murder were laid bare in court, the community was forced to confront the chilling fact that such violence had occurred so close to home. The impact on Dwayne's loved ones was profound. During the trial, his father, Eugene Demkiw, delivered a heart-wrenching victim impact statement, directly addressing Jason Steadman, the man convicted of his son's murder. Steadman, showing no emotion, was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 25 years. This sentence brought some closure to the family and friends of Dwayne, but the scars left by this tragedy will take far longer to heal. The community's response was one of shock and mourning. A man's identity had unraveled, revealing a past filled with deception and danger, culminating in a flight risk and a danger to the community. The authorities' discovery of Steadman's abandoned apartment signaled the beginning of a long and arduous journey towards justice. As the community continues to reel from the impact of this crime, there is a collective search for understanding and healing. The story of Dwayne Demkiw serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the devastating consequences of unchecked jealousy and rage. It's a narrative that has undoubtedly shaken the community to its core, leaving an indelible mark on the hearts of those who knew him and those who followed the tragic story. In this section, we delve into the community's reaction, the emotional toll on Dwayne's family, and the broader implications of Steadman's crime. It's a sobering reflection on the aftermath of a tragedy that has left many searching for answers and comfort in the wake of such a senseless loss. As we bring this story to a close, it's a moment to pause and reflect on the nature of closure and the pursuit of justice. The case of Dwayne Demkiw is a stark reminder of life's unpredictability and the profound depths to which human nature can sometimes descend. It's a narrative that has unfolded with many layers, each one a testament to the complexities of the human psyche and the law's attempt to navigate it. This is Zaid, and as we wrap up today's journey into the heart of darkness, I encourage you to stay vigilant, stay empathetic, and stay engaged with these stories. They are, after all, not just tales of woe but also of warning, of learning, and ultimately of understanding. If this story has captured your attention, if it has made you think or feel, then I ask you to act on that. Hit the like button, share this video far and wide, and subscribe to join me on this ongoing quest into the true crime world. Your engagement is more than just interaction. It's a beacon that helps illuminate the truths we seek and the stories that demand to be told. Together, let's keep the memory of the victims alive and support the tireless search for justice. Until next time, take care and keep the quest for knowledge alive.